Hello, it is I, Steel Cat, and welcome back to another stream. Let's see here. We're gonna pop out the chat real quick. Pop out chat. Here we go, and we're gonna move it over here and increase the size. Beautiful. Alrighty. Good morning, soybean. I have my water, and I have my 95% decaf coffee. I did take the liberty of putting a single teaspoon of regular coffee in it this time. Just a single teaspoon before I brewed it. Compared to like several tablespoons of decaf. So, we'll see how it goes. Welcome, Soybean and Method. My peeps are here. And it's been a couple weeks. Sorry about last week. I wanted to stream last week, but circumstances forbade it. You might hear a noise. I had to disconnect my Super Nintendo controller. I was messing with some settings on my emulator this morning. I have half a mind to start streaming like non-block game, but when am I ever going to find the time? Anywho, you are eating kayufte. I don't know what kayufte is, and I know I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Fleming says I went to bed at 8:30. I've been up for like 5 or 6 hours already. Wow. Epic. That you. How many hours did you sleep then? I don't know. I don't think about it. I guess the time difference between our time zones does count for some of that. Okay, let me let's see here. F12. Yep. Increase the screen brightness. It's cloudy this morning, so I won't have trouble seeing. We're going to function lock. Yes. Oh, that's amazing. Both Gary and Meatballs. Nice. We're in Norway once again. If I sound a little stuffy, I think I figured out why I feel stuffy every single stream. It's because before this stream, I eat fried egg sandwich. I eat 2 fried egg sandwiches every Saturday morning before I stream. And I'm starting to think that maybe fried egg sandwiches give me a stuffy nose. It's my new theory, because it happens every Saturday. Forgot to turn off the overlays. The overlays? Oh, I did forget to turn off the overlays. Yes, the overlays. Okay, so shout out to Mirror Jaded and Whitebird as always. Shout out to Pikachu, my friend. And we're gonna turn that off. Thanks for pointing that out. Oh, I am not allergic. There's no way I'm allergic to eggs, bro. Nah, bro. Well, let me make a correction to my statement. I wake up every morning with the stuffy nose, like every morning of my dash gang life. Okay, doesn't matter what it is. Okay, I go to bed with stuffy nose. I wake up with a stuffy nose. I've had a stuffy nose since I was 14. Okay, it doesn't matter where I live, what I eat, what I drink. Stuffy nose all the time. Okay, I've had like a super low level cold since I was like 14, and it just has not gone away. Pretty much. That. I think I'm allergic to Legacy Plus. That's why. I'm allergic to Infdev Plus. This game is it's bad for your health. So. You were up 5 a.m. EST. Nice. You're allergic to eggs, but at such a minor level, I still eat them. You know, that could be my situation. You know. So please call me Yoniko from now on. Okay, Yoniko. Yoniko. I don't know how to pronounce Yoniko. Yoniko? Is it Yoniko or Yoniko? One or two. Yoniko or Yoniko? Or is it like a third option I can't pronounce? The new Legacy Plus lead dev. Yes. Yes. You've killed Method and replaced him. You're now wearing his skin as a grotesque suit. Hold on. By the way, hello. Hello, everybody. Where's my armor? I don't have a hat right now. Well, I guess I should make a hat and some new boots. I'm gonna make diamond boots. I'm gonna make diamond boots and an emerald hat. I hope that isn't infuriating to anybody. Diamond boots, no way, bro. We're doing this. Actually, not yet. We're doing this for now. And I'm making a new hat. I guess I'll make a diamond hat. Screw it. I have the diamantes. I may as well use the diamantes. You know what I'm saying? I like how sorting them just switched them. Maybe I'm allergic to life. Yes, that's quite possible. Might have what I have. I fixed it with a steroid spray. A steroid spray? Huh. Yo, Nico, let's go bowling. Yo, Nico. Okay. What? Yo, Nico. Method is literally worse than Funny Mustache, man. What's funny, you know, that's kind of humorous, is that I can think of more than one funny mustache man in history. In the 20th century history, specifically. Anywho, what the heck was my plan today? Oh, that's right, I have a lot of dirt. And I want to place it, but it's dark outside. So... I don't know about that right now. I can go dig some more dirt. I have like a fresh spoon right now. I could just go digging. Maybe put these away for now. And you go use up my fresh spoon. Start this stream. Defying the very name of the stream. We're gonna dig instead of place. Alright, let me have some Fallon had objectively the best mustache. Oh, I forgot it was raining here. Oh, this sucks. This is unplayable garbage, dude. What the heck? Hold on. I have to, like, turn the audio way the heck down. And the ambient down to, like, 30%. There we go. Also, the music might be a bit loud at this point. I might turn it down a little. Okay, not that. Right there. Nice. You 100%ed Method's mod. That's pretty cool, Yoniko. Method is worse than both mustache men combined. So true. Okay, what hill was I working on last time? Alright, is this the music I want right now? I don't know, I guess we can go with it until I feel like changing it. Turn effects off. The fog makes it hard to see. Effects, graphics. I'm gonna go with fast effects. That'll help. Alright, Speeder. Yeah, I'm not feeling this music right now. Let's see what else we got. Alright, here we go. If only Method had a mustache. Yes, then he could be a true monster. Worthy of the most diabolical names of all time. So anywho, howdy everybody. What are we at? We're halfway through November. Halfway through. Okay. The first thing on my mind to talk about in relation to November is, oh my god, I have been wearing shorts for half a week. Thursday and Friday, and based on the weather forecast, I'm going to be wearing shorts for the rest of the week. For like next week. All of next week is what I mean to say there. In November. I'm like, it's infuriating, dude. I hate Alabama so much. I hate it. I hate it. Like, it's cool in the morning. It's not like it's hot out, you know? So it's like, we're talking like 70 something. It's no big deal. And it's cool overnight and in the morning. Like I actually go to work wearing a hoodie, but also shorts. Welcome, Rye Pie. And so this weather, like, it's not miserable or anything. I'm cool with it. I'm just angry that I'm wearing shorts. It's not right. Actually, Soybean, here in northern Alabama, we saw a few snowflakes on Monday. They didn't do anything, but they were in the air, floating about. They were completely powerless, but they existed. And that's saying something around these parts. Especially, like, northern Alabama does not get snow in November. It just doesn't. So the fact that we saw those snowflakes was a kind of a rare occurrence for this time of year, which is, again, it's just sad. I don't like it. I hate this place. I want to go home. Isn't everyone inbred there? I want to say no, but I also know some people. That's all I'm going to say. It snowed a couple days ago. Supposedly this winter's going to be extra cold for North America. Well, I hope that applies to Alabama. I hope that we get, like, the snowmageddon of the century. I hope that there's chaos and screaming in the streets. I hope that the wailing rises up and fills my ears of the Alabamans who are like, oh my god, we're gonna die because it snowed. And actually it's just gonna be super chill, you know? Okay, now that the light's up, maybe I could turn effects back to normal. Nah, I'll just leave it here for now. Soybean says we had a straight up blizzard, instant winter. It's interesting because where I come from, blizzards don't happen until like March. Out west, we don't get blizzards out west until like March or something. Options. Okay, graphics. I can turn effects back to normal. It's on fancy, right? I think so. Alright, Pi says, I live in Canada and we barely got snow. The snow rapture. The snow has been taken to heaven. Oh, I'm surprised 4 feet of snow we're not like we had last year. 4 feet is rookie numbers. The Canuck has spoken. Alright. We're dealing with a true snow master here. But anywho, yeah, this weather sucks and I want to go home. Even though it's actually, again, this weather doesn't suck. That's the thing. It's perfectly nice weather. It's just the wrong time of year for it. It feels like September right now. It feels like September to me. That's just wild. And I like September weather. I really do. But, it's November. It's a day after things. Day after Thanksgiving. What happened? What happened after Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving hasn't happened yet this year. I must have missed something. Anywho, the other thing this week, Steel is living in Australian with. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Mono was rubbing off on me too much. He sent some of his that Aussie weather over here. But besides that. On my Mayu Mini, I completed Link's Awakening recently, in the past couple weeks. And I only used 2 save states the entire time, which is pretty good for me. I save stated on the Eagle Tower boss, because that thing can go to hell. And then the final boss, because I was like, I just want to, I'm done, I want to get through this. I was like powering through it on a Sunday night or something. So, I'm done. I want to get this done. I've had my fun. Let's move on. And now I'm playing Oracle of Seasons. And I've completed the second dungeon. On my way to the third one. And this game is awesome. I like this game. Yes, there's new Steam hardware. Big hype. Big hype. I would be hyped if I had money. But I don't, so I'm not hyped. I cannot afford anything right now. However, there is hope in the form of open enrollment. I might be able to get my wife on a cheaper yet still equivalent option for insurance. And that's because of these things called tax credits for insurance. So because I don't make a ton, I might qualify for a little tax credit, which means I could get roughly the same insurance I do from the employer, but for like $300 less per month, which would be a huge deal if we could do that. So I'm going to look into that this weekend. Hold on, I gotta read chat. The British determination to set up a colony no matter the weather or climate. Yes. It doesn't matter, man. They were, dude, like they were so determined that. If you ever read about like the Pilgrims, right? That's what the Pilgrims is just a weird name for them. I don't know why we call them the Pilgrims now, but because like historically it kind of makes no, like they considered themselves to be on a kind of pilgrimage, but like they didn't go around calling themselves we are the capital P Pilgrims, you know. But that's what happened in history, is we started calling them that. But the Pilgrims, if you know who those are, like that they like most of them died, okay, because of like where they landed, and they landed there because a storm blew them too far north. But they just kept going. They're like, we don't care. This is our land now. This is our home. We've staked everything on this. We're gonna do it. And then they did. Yoniko says, I'm getting all of the Steam hardware, but I will prioritize the the frame first. The new VR. I have never tried VR. I have never put on a VR headset in my life, and I don't know when I ever will. My Pie says I want a Steam Deck 2. The Steam Deck 2 would be sick. Just like the Switch 2, the Steam Deck 2. Yoniko says I'll get the the Gabe Cube controller later. PC upgrade. Just the Gabe Cube, right? Yes, Soybean. I am winning. I'm winning so hard. I never won so much in all my life. Okay, I'm doing it. I was watching Yoniko's stream and I realized I literally never throw things away. So I'm doing it, guys. I'm throwing things away. Look at this. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. This could be valuable for something later. This could too. Oh my gosh. Never mind. I'm hoarding items. Just like I always do. I'm kidding. I'm not really a changed man. I'm actually just continuing to hoard items. Ooh, a pumpkin. Take it. Anywho. Right, but it says just become a big time YouTuber. Yes, that's all I gotta do. Just gotta get those numbers up, man. Gotta get them subscribers, man. Gotta get them views, man. Gotta get those watch hours. That's what it really comes. That's like the number one factor in current year YouTube, is they want you to have big watch hours. You gotta have lots of watch time. So what I really need to do is just start making AI slop, and I'll be there in no time. I'm just gonna train an AI on my videos, and then just stop making videos, and just have the clanker produce all my content for me. Call it Steel Slop. The Steel Slop channel. Soybean says, imagine sailing across the ocean with no clue where you're going. That is insane. Yeah, well they had a clue. It's just that they got moved by the weather. The weather moved them. Yonako's #1 Steam shill. Yes. I'm taking except to Greenland though. Like in 1300. I don't know, bro. I don't know what it was like in Greenland. Let me move my mic a little closer. Probably better. Okay. Yonako says I've tried VR, and all of them gave me motion sickness. Yeah, this one does sound like it's got some good technology. At least place the flower down. Just get a base. I love corporate AI slop. Yes. An empire of lies and let it crumble once you leave. Base. Yes. That's all you gotta do. So, my wife and I like to listen to like, mainly my wife, she likes to use our TV, which is like a crappy smart TV. It's like super slow and clunky, but it works barely. But sometimes we'll listen to like country music or 70s folk rock or whatever. But I'm amazed at the number of channels that upload like old-timey music, right? But they use AI video generation with said music. It's kind of infuriating. Because you'll seriously, okay, oh my gosh, it was the thing I remember the most. Oh my god, okay. It was this country music mix, okay, of like classic, 70s to 90s, whatever country music. I don't know. And it was all this AI generated scenery of like, oh, it's the West, and just cowboys and stuff. There was this part where there was like 3 or 4 cowboys on horseback. And they weren't moving, but they were bobbing up and down as if they were galloping. It was so weird. It's just like, what on earth is this crap? I need more than one of those. What am I doing? I need 2 of those. Have you heard about the... Yes, I've heard of the Bedrock Edition fiasco, but I don't know what the bug is. I haven't bothered to watch any of the, 57 videos people have been sharing. So I don't really know exactly what the issue is. I just know there is an issue, and apparently it's terrible. Apparently, Mojang has finally outdone themselves in terms of, oh, here's an old term. In terms of epic failure. Yes, epic fail. This is an epic fail, Mojang. Sipping on the coffee. Bedrock one's worse than vanilla Java. Wow. Nico says cola gummy. What's a cola gummy? I don't know. Game is unplayable. I don't know. I might sit down and watch one of those videos or listen to it passively while doing something else. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But yeah, I keep seeing people sharing stuff about it. I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of awful. I have a few more of these. Put those away. All right, let's go keep digging. And we have the barrels this time, so we can fill the barrels with the dirt. We're gonna fill these barrels and fill our inventory. Hopefully break the shovels, and then we're gonna go start placing dirt, as the title suggests. Engineer, you say, Method? Don't you know that engineer is a slur? Engineer with a hard R, dude? That's not cool. And that joke exists because of one man. One special man who we all used to love. We all thought he was super down to earth and chill and legit. Don't worry, my time is coming. I'll do something stupid probably. I'll be like, hey guys, I'm secretly an architect. You know, as an architect, you know. And then I'll show off like some, you know, extremely mediocre Minecraft build. Like as an architect, this is where the industry is going right here. Okay. Only released hot fixes to fix the market. They're only fixing the marketplace. They haven't fixed anything else, of course. Just keep giving us money. Play the slop. Run the AI code. It yeeted people's worlds. Wow. Just worlds gone. Deleted. Destroyed. Mudahar as an engineer. Oh my gosh, I'm like trying to read chat and do this at the same time. It's not working, as you can tell. But yeah, the AI, man, the AI. The AI, though. It's everywhere. I'm trying not to let it get me down. I've been looking for hopium, you know? I need some hopium in my life. As a machinist, this is my opinion. We should just start doing that. Just like, whenever there's just something that we don't really need to have an opinion on. Be like, well, you know, as a warehouse employee, I think that, insert opinion here. As a driver. As a gamer. As a certified epic gamer. Worst Java update. We're so sorry we broke this one thing while fixing all these other bugs. Best Bedrock update. Breaks 10 new things. Reintroduces an old bug. More marketplace slop. Yes. Soybean is a machinist with a hard T. Wow. And RyPie is unemployed. Unemployed? Is that like with a hard Y? A hard D, perhaps? I shouldn't have said that. Ha! I'm getting flagged. Taken down. What's funny is I didn't even realize it until I'd already said it. I'm like, oh, wait. 2025 is god awful rotten. Yeah, it's a, as years go, it's not the best. Okay, I'm not saying good things haven't happened this year. I'm just saying it's not like, certainly not an S tier year. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think it's an A tier year. What is a localization? McDonald's employee. As a McDonald's employee. Based. Should turn option. Audio. Ambience back to 100%. Does this mean there's wind right now? Oh yeah, there we go. Get that wind sound effect going on. If the rain wasn't so loud, you know. Anyway. Yeah, good thing. It's weird because like good things have happened this year in my personal life, and same for you. It seems like, but like in terms of just society and economy, it feels like just like a dog water year. You know what I mean? Like a dog water tier year. So it's kind of a weird. I have mixed feelings about this year, you know? If you short AI stocks next year, you will be rich. Okay, can someone explain to me what shorting stocks even means? Like, does that mean buying AI stocks, selling them, doing what now? Like, what does it mean to short a stock? Yes. Don't worry, soybean. We just have to keep winning, okay? You know, the real winning, maybe the real winning is in our hearts, you know? Maybe the real winning is the friends we made along the way, you know? Based, you got this. Believe to achieve. Means you are betting against a stock. Okay, so bet against AI. Okay, I got it. Because AI, the bubble's gonna pop big time. So if I was gonna bet against AI, what would I invest in that case? I don't know. It's a 15-year-old... What? What are you talking about, bro? But yeah, I'm tired of winning. I am a little tired of winning at this point. I feel like I've had enough winning for a lifetime. If I could go back to whatever losing supposedly was, because if I was losing in like 2019 or whatever, like I was doing so much better economically. I could afford gas and things, you know. Life wasn't a constant calculus of like, am I going to be able to afford X, Y, Z? See what else is going on in life. I've had some other thoughts. I wrote them down somewhere, but I don't have that somewhere with me in the room. Does crying burn calories? You know, probably, actually. The common man always loses, says Soybean. You're not wrong. Not at all. Sadly. Yeah. It's so hard not to get bitter about it, you know. I don't want to turn into just a bitter, complaining. I don't know what noun to put there. I just don't want to lose myself to the bitterness, you know. Because some people do, and it just like then they're just miserable. It's like this. If we're gonna be screwed. Like, if we're guaranteed to be screwed one way or another, you can either be screwed and miserable, or screwed and just kind of vibing with it, I guess. I don't know, just kind of try to be thankful for what little is going well, you know. And maybe a lot is going well, if I really think about it. Like, I do have a lot to be thankful for in life. Life isn't 100% bad, you know. It's not like just there's nothing going well. I'm just tired of winning, that's all. I haven't been able to accomplish the keto diet for one reason. A, it's expensive. Oh yeah. To actually buy keto this, keto that. Just like, oh, thanks. So you're telling me that I have to pay twice as much for this not to be bad for me? Thanks. It's amazing. But what I do, some intermittent fasting, which helps. So like once or twice a week, usually on Fridays, because that just so happens to be kind of a traditional fasting day. I'll skip breakfast and lunch, basically, and just wait until around 5 o'clock to eat. I think that helps. There's a lot of science behind it, too, that A lot of good things happen. Apparently our bodies are actually like really well adapted to fasting. Like that's just kind of a normal thing for mammals. And kind of most animals, most large animals. Life is about being screwed, both in good ways and bad. Unico says my metabolism used to be insanely good, but every year it slows down. Yeah, Speaking of slowing down on things, my caffeine intake has been 0 or near 0 for like 3.5 weeks now. Uh-oh. There's a dude. Is he down there or up here? He's down there. Okay, cool. And, can I say it's made me feel less tired during the day? Maybe. I think I feel tired around the same times of day, but it's not nearly as intense as it used to be, which is good. It's kind of like the wave, like if you look at it, if I had a graph of like how much energy I have throughout the day, it's still a wave, but it's much less intense. Excuse me, dude, bro. So I think my putting the caffeine habit is helping. As far as my sleep goes, oh my gosh, it enrages me. Okay, this enrages me. Every time you watch a video about I quit caffeine, you know, or I made some lifestyle change, and they all say the same crap. They all say this. They all say that it's almost the exact same line too. They all say that they wake up with all this energy. They just wake up like rearing and ready to go, ready to take on the world. I wake up feeling like I've already been awake, or I wake up feeling like I don't know. They all have these phrases. Point being, they wake up just super refreshed, super energetic, and it's like, I'm sorry, but that has never been my life since I was, for as long as I can remember at this point. Like when I was a little kid, I'd wake up and be like ready to go, you know? But for me, my entire adult life, I wake up and for the first hour of the day, I am an incapacitated zombie, okay? For the first hour of the day, if an armed man broke into my house, I would probably just let him kill me, okay? That's how incapacitated I am. That's exaggerating. Adrenaline would still do its work, but I think you get the point. I'm just a zombie for at least an hour in the morning. And every time I hear these, like, these bros on YouTube who are like, I quit caffeine, and 6 months later, bro, and I'm like, feel like I can bench press an elephant as soon as my eyes open, you know? It's like amazing. It's just like, shut up, dude. Hold on. Let me read. Soybean says, yes, keto is very expensive. Rather be skinny than anything else at the moment. Yeah, I hear you. Wi-Fi says we're bringing back starvation. I have friends who eat nothing but McDonald's and Mountain Dew. They're skinny as a rail. Everybody has that one friend. I don't know how it happens. Sometimes they're just potheads, you know? When I wake up, I'm groggy for like 10 to 15 minutes. I would say again, I'm a little bit exaggerating. I would say the grogginess for me lasts about half an hour at least. More often than not, actually. I wake up, I go to turn off my alarm, because I have this alarm app that makes me take a picture of a barcode. So, and it's the ketchup in my fridge. So I just you know, go all the way out to the kitchen, do that. But then I just collapse on the couch and I usually fall asleep for another half hour. And then for the half hour after that, I'm groggy as heck, just slowly trying to wake up. And then, so I set my alarm at 5. By about 6, I'm ready to actually, like, function as a human being. He says, "Dude, so real. I'm so unbothered when I wake up." What do you mean by that? What does that mean? Yeah, what I want to do is I want to wake up and, like, do something with my life. Because I go to work at 7. I don't want to wake up at 5 just to lose half of that time to being groggy, you know? It's annoying. I don't do anything with my life. Like, all the routines I would like to have in the morning, I don't have. Because I'm too groggy to do anything. And then what do? What happens? I sit and stare at my dang phone, and it kind of slowly wakes me up. So it's like this endless loop of being trapped in this morning grogginess. And staring at my dang phone just to try to wake up. And because I'm staring at my dang phone to try to wake up, I'm staring at my dang phone. So, like, you know, scrolling through all the nonsense, you know. It's truly infuriating. So he says, I mean, I just don't know what planet I'm on. I'm on autopilot. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I get it, yeah. Just so stinking tired every morning. And I don't know what to do. I don't know if it's because I'm not breathing right when I sleep. Because apparently not everybody experiences this. Because like I said, those dude bros on the interwebs making their damn videos, they don't experience this. They're not so groggy that they can't even stand hardly. So I don't know what the problem is. Is it because I go to sleep with melatonin every night? I don't know. Hot take: employers should have to pay for long commutes. It would incentivize local business and you get paid for the obscene time it might take to get there. I can tell you why it's the caffeine. Yeah, but I stopped the caffeine, okay? The most caffeine I have had in the past 3 weeks is the single teaspoon of coffee, of regular coffee that I have in this morning coffee right now, okay? And I can actually feel it too, which is weird. A single teaspoon of coffee and I can feel it. My caffeine sensitivity is very high right now. But I still feel the exact same every morning, just stupid freaking groggy. I don't know, maybe it just takes time. You know, maybe it takes a few months for the body to, like, recover completely. Ride drinks coffee and uses melatonin and is not that groggy every night. That sounds amazing. Or every morning, I mean. I want, like... You know what? I need an alarm clock that is, like, attached to my arm and it just injects a drug into my body that counteracts the grogginess. That would probably be extremely bad for me and reduce my lifespan by 5 years. But think of the hours I would save in the meantime. Because honestly, I'm the kind of guy who wants to wake up at 4 in the morning and do stuff. Because in the rare periods of time in my life when I have been able to overcome the grogginess, like, that's actually a really productive time in the morning to, like, study or work on a video or pray or whatever. And to not have that time just sucks. Because I like it. I like the quietness of that early morning. There's like no distractions. There's like all the people who were out late at night, they're gone already. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody out doing anything, you know? So I think it's yes, drugs, base. Dude, I feel you. I feel you, bro. I'm trying hard not to be a drug addict, but it's difficult these days. All right. Oh, I just placed down the wrong barrel. Okay, hold on. I want this barrel. There we go. All right. You know, some jobs, yeah. I actually work pretty close to where I live, thankfully, so that's nice. I don't have to go all that far. Which is a high priority for me, because the very reason we're talking about. I don't like spending all this time driving to work and I'm not even getting paid for it, you know? It's just a waste of time. Billionaires, Raipai says that billionaires want you on drugs. It isn't even hyperbole. You're probably not wrong. It's okay. It's okay. You just believe to achieve, right? You on Durgs. Okay, I saw that. That was funny. Yes, I'm on Durgs. I'm on Durgs, guys. I take Durgs every morning, actually. That's a real fact. Some of which are prescribed to me. No, I take some prescription Durgs. 1 prescription Durg, to be exact. Oh, here we go. We got some melancholy music to go with the rain. By the way, I forgot to turn the audio down. Probably haven't been able to hear what I'm saying. Get this music going on. Yes. I love the sad, melancholy music. There will be tears. Actually, no. No. You'll be too depressed to have tears. Just mild pain in your chest. That never goes away. Yes. This is what I want. Like that small, that little itty bitty vacuum in your chest. You know? Not enough to really take away all the joy, but enough to remind you that maybe there's something better. That maybe joy is found in between the pain, you know? That maybe in between the drops of rain. Okay, and I know. I'm done. Sad boy hours, let's go. I did 45 minutes on the bike. I saw, yes. Thanks. I do like this kind of music though. I really like it. Oh, I love this music so much. And the rain and everything. Just like, hold on, let's options, graphics. Yes, much better. Get the fanciness going on, and the sadness and stuff. Okay, going back over here. Raipai says you're always meant to be sad because everything sucks and is evil. That is like 65% true. All right. So, okay. So this is all the dirt we have now. This is our grand supply of dirt. Look at that. We filled up the whole dang. Okay, I mean there is a single sandball here, but yeah, we filled up the whole thing with mostly dirt and a little bit of other stuff, but and a single sandball. That's just why are you here? Anywho, music is so beautiful. I mean, Co says, oh, Soybean says BRB. Okay. New first-person mode in settings? Options? Is it like a graphical thing? First-person classic fans. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. No. Oh. Bruh. Bruh, are you gonna make Indev Plus run on the Steam frame? Okay. And then I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna see my blocky self just walking. Hold on. Remove the armor. See how this looks. Oh my god, dude. I hate this so much. Oh, dude. You know what's the worst part is it makes perfect sense, but I hate it so bad. Dude. Right, but I accidentally left Minecraft Alpha paused overnight. Nice. I really hate this, and yet I kind of want to just play like this for a few minutes just to get a feel for it, you know? Oh, dude, bro. I hate this, and it's horrible, bro. Look at my feet, man. Why do I feel so tall? Look, my feet look like they're really far away. It's rendered weird. It makes them look like I'm some kind of skyscraper. Like, soybean. Look at this, soybean. Okay, before you take a shower, just look at this. This is horrifying. This was not meant to exist. This is horrible. I'm gonna go outside and see what it's like. Look at my shoulders, dude. I got shoulders for days, man. Shoulders for days. Oh my gosh, bro. Why is this here? I don't know. I have so much wheat. I'm gonna farm some wheat real quick. I should be using my daylight to place dirt, but I'm getting distracted by the first person thing. Hold on, no, I'm gonna leave my armor off until nighttime. And once I put my armor back on, I am getting rid of this weird first person thing. But because that just looks wrong with armor on. Yeah, but what do I want in life? I want dirt. Okay, I want lots and lots of dirt. Dirt. And I'm gonna want a new spoon. Not because we're digging a bunch of dirt, but because it is inevitable that we will misplace things. Place dirt in a spot we don't like. And have to correct it, so much easier to do that if we have something to dig it with. So let's just grab a bunch of dirt. No, we don't need gravel. Okay, we didn't grab it. Cool. Literally just fill up that dang inventory with dirt. Sort that. Cool. Alright, here we go. When I open, it's the door opening that really sells it, you know? What happens when I... Wow. Indev plus VR, yes, because you moved the camera up, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see anything. Oh, okay. I know Soybean already knows this. Imagine that with a bunch of player animation. Would you live in Indev Plus for a year if you didn't age? That's a profound question. That depends. Would I still have access to Discord? Would I be able to talk to my friends and stuff? It's like, are we all together in this like weird time vortex thing? Like, what's going on here? Is life moving on without me? Do I get paid? Like, there's so many questions here. Just Indev Plus. Just buy myself an Indev Plus. Well, then, no. I would go insane after a year of living in this blocky hellscape. I would go insane, bro. With no one to talk to? Screw that. Alright. Now that I actually have to place things and not feel distracted while I'm doing it, I'm just going to turn on regular first person now. Thank you. Oh, dude, this feels so much better. I feel like a human being again. I know that's weird because, like, taking away the body makes you feel more normal, but it's a really, really odd thing in this case, but hey, that's mince wrapped for you. But time is paused while in Indev Plus. Yeah, but, like, I'm there for a freaking year, dude. By myself. Just, like, time isn't paused for me. We fired and homeless because I didn't pay rent. Yes, but at least I got to live in Indev Plus, and that's a once in a lifetime, like, hyper experience, you know. Okay, let me start placing dirt. All this stone needs to disappear. The stone is fine, but it doesn't look like mountain valley kind of stone, you know. Probably should have brought some cobble with me. I'm probably going to want to place cobble too, actually. I don't know. Because the weakness of just placing dirt is that if there's a creeper and it blows up, you just have a hole in the ground. Not just like a three-dimensional hole, like an actual hole you can fall through. That's infuriating. Go away. Okay. I really have to think about this. Let me get a view from up high. But it would be cool and awesome, says right. No one would believe you, though. If you take salvia, you could trip living 20 years. It's like a tree. Okay. I mean, I guess. Sure. but why? Okay, that's the question I have for you. What? Why would you want to do this to yourself? Okay. And I know what you mean. I've read about that stuff. And well, why? Why would you want to trip for 20 years as a tree? Okay, here's a good vantage point. Let's see here. People who take it never want to do it again and warn people about it. Makes sense. IRL, it's like 15 minutes. Yeah, it's like the compressed time thing that for some reason the brain can do, apparently. Apparently your brain can just be like, yeah, this is gonna feel like 20 years. Even though it's actually just technically a few minutes. It is bizarre that the brain can even do that. So, we're now going on to the dirt placing section of this stream, and we're going to be placing dirt for a long time. In fact, we are going to run out of dirt before we get anywhere near done with this project. That is just a guarantee. So I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of, like, pacing this. Because it will take gobs of hours to complete this. Because, I don't know, people get high on anything, that's true. All right, what was I gonna talk about? I swear I had ideas of, like, things to talk about. I think my coffee's done. It's getting cold. Yes, Yoniko, exciting gameplay. If I could compress time by a drug, I'd be addicted to it. I mean, it depends. Like, I want to do things in life, you know. So, like, if I could actually have more time, but, like, be able to do things. If you think about it, if you're, like, in some time vortex, or you're experiencing more time than everything else, then compared to you, everything else would be slower, logically. So it's not like you wouldn't even be able to do things. Like, your computer wouldn't work, right? Because it would be very slow compared to you. So that would be no fun. Like, what are you going to do, play Minecraft? No. Because you'd be walking super slow compared to your own time frame. So that would suck. I guess you could just increase the tick speed and then... and then play it like that. I mean, in this hypothetical scenario where I have, like, a time vortex. And I'm going to use it to play Minecraft. I would increase the tick speed. Yes. Perfect. This is brilliant. The lower graphics option, I guess you could say it looks better. I mean, it's you can see things better. That is very true. Once all this dirt is placed, I'm probably going to dig up all this gravel, because it's useful. Why not dig up all the gravel and use it, you know? So I was thinking, like yesterday I think, about... How do I even phrase it? Like watching some videos, trying to gather my thoughts. Sometimes my thoughts don't want to gather. Sometimes they just want to be free, do their own thing. Just be formless and floaty. Come on, thoughts. Uh-oh. We got a dude. I'm gonna cross the river to escape. Aha! You can't get to me now, can you? Because you're too stupid to swim. Okay, no, you're not. This is nice and relaxing, though, with this music. Let's play some dirt. Here's the thing, AI. Okay, I had some thoughts about the AI stuff. I know, super original topic at this point. But I was gonna talk about how I think AI, or what we're calling AI right now, is number one, it's really not what I like. When I used to think about AI, like as a kid, like, oh, what would AI be like? What could it do? I think the popular imagination we had of what AI would be and what it could do, you know, back 10 or 20 years ago, or 30 years, you know, 10, 20, 30 years ago, however you want to, whatever time frame you want to put on it, we had a very different idea about what it would be and what it could do versus what the technology is actually seemingly doing right now. Like, we had an idea that if we, you know, use these, like, evolutionary coding models, that it would learn, do yada 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 yada. But I think what resulted from actually achieving that technology is not what anyone expected. Because it's not this... The AI can't really think the way humans do. It doesn't think in concepts. It doesn't start with what a thing means and then describe it, or what a thing is and then, you know, work with it somehow. It's just the language layer, basically. It's just the language layer of thinking, and it's trying to reverse engineer everything that's underneath that. I guess it'd be a way to describe it, which is why it's taking, like, ridiculous amounts of power to try to train these things and design these things. Or we're using, like, city, like, what do they call them? Data centers that take as much energy as a city. And it's like they're trying to reverse engineer the way a person, the way an actual brain thinks, basically, but faster, obviously. And it doesn't seem to be working very well because we haven't really gotten to a point where the computer, everybody's afraid, like, oh, what if the computer escapes, you know? And what if the AI escapes and does bad things or whatever? And at this point, I don't think it can. Number one, it doesn't have the code that would allow it to actually take action like that yet. I mean, they're trying their darndest to make it. That's what's scary. Someone made an AI Minecraft build generator. Yeah. I have not seen the Hank Green video about electricity being like housing. I've been too afraid to watch it. I don't need more dystopian thoughts in my brain. Thank you very much. I already have enough. Already have enough dystopian thoughts running around my brain. I don't need more. It's already depressing enough. Yeah, the word that comes to mind when I was thinking about this a while ago is coherence. The word coherence. And basically, if we talk about the way humans think, it's definitely not the way these language models think. A human brain kind of we start with an aim, like something we're trying to focus on or trying to achieve. It can be as simple as, it's weird because in a way the computer does too, but the computer has to, I'm trying to describe it, and it's very difficult to describe my thought. And it might be a dumb thought too. That's the worst part. Like, it might not be that great of a thought. I don't know. Smartphone is Stalin's dream, says Richard Stalin. Oh, jeez. It is dark. It is dark. I want the sun to come out. I want the rain to go away. But my intuition, I guess, I don't know if it's... Well, I'm not a very intuitive person. I'm more analytical. But basically what I think the AI is doing, or the LLMs, how they work, is they basically work in backwards order to how the human brain works, in terms of how their thinking is structured. And I'm struggling to describe how I think that is, but I'm just going to say that that's what I think is happening for now. And I think the reason it takes so much energy to try to make these things is because we're trying to reverse engineer the human way of thinking from a system that is backwards to how humans think, basically. And that takes a ridiculous amount of energy. It's sort of like, as an analogy, how like passwords work on websites, is that you have a math problem that is really easy to solve in one direction, i.e. you put in this string of text and it generates a key. But if you have the key, it's almost impossible to solve the problem the other way around. It takes an enormous amount of energy. And I think that's part of what's going on, or something like what's going on. Some way of describing it is that if the AI is essentially like working with that key, its way of thinking and operating and trying to work, have enough computational power to work backward to how the human brain thinks about things. And it just takes an enormous amount of energy to do it. That's my thought. I could be totally wrong. I don't really understand these things all that well. I'm not like some kind of expert, okay? I'm just like some dude playing Minecraft and just thinking out loud because it's a thing to do. But yeah, that's my 2 cents, I guess. And then there's Indev Plus, which is already set. You know, Indev Plus is a better AI than like anything that Silicon Valley has made in the past few years. Okay, and spending all this money, and they've been outdone by some Eastern European gamer in his mom's basement. Okay, it's pathetic, honestly. Like, it's pathetic. With all their money, all their resources. The rain's gonna stop, right? Okay, good. Go away, rain noise. No one likes you. I'm sorry, rain noise. What if the rain noise is the sentient AI and now it's gonna kill me? Oh my gosh. But yeah. Oh, and then my wife and I have been watching Person of Interest, which is a TV show that heavily features AI themes. It aired from like 2011 to 2015. So like a decade before these LLMs took off. And the way they talk about AI in that show, again, is they actually describe the technology that people were working on. People were working on these evolutionary models. Even back then, you know, we've had them for a while. Like, I remember several years ago, way before LLMs, people were making videos of like, oh, we trained this AI thing to play Mario, and it's an evolutionary model, and basically it just fails over and over until it learns how to play Super Mario Brothers. It was interesting, but like now we're basically taking that same kind of concept and trying to use it to generate text and maybe do other things that might actually be useful. Who knows? I don't know how broad this valley needs to be. I mean, we've got a lot of ground to cover. I swear that sheep walking over here looked like another player for a second. I almost freaked out. Okay, hold on. Let me read what's up. Yeah, it currently runs off mass copyright theft. You're not wrong. Well, that's the other thing. It's really not AI at all. Okay, that's the thing. It's just really not. We shouldn't even be calling these things artificial intelligence, because there's no intelligence to it at all. It's literally just algorithms that are designed to emulate human speech, or human writing, really. And they're really good at it. But they're not... And I've listened to, I've watched videos, like I watched Hank Green's interview with some dude who was saying, like, if they build it, everyone dies, or whatever. He wrote this book called If They Build It, Everyone Dies. Which is just like, that's comforting. Anywho, the point being, like, what they described in that video as to how this technology works just doesn't doesn't seem like real AI to me. It's just a... It's like a magic trick, okay? It's like a magic trick compared to like what actual genuine magic would be. Like imagine a genuine wizard versus a magician that just does tricks, okay? And that's the thing that we call AI right now is the magician that just does tricks. But we're trying to turn it into a wizard, and I don't think it's going to work. I think we're going to get it to do some really fancy tricks as the technology develops, but it's never going to be the kind of AI that could actually conceptualize anything enough to decide, oh, I'm going to kill humanity. Okay, the only reason these AIs, every once in a while, there's these like flashy news stories like, oh my gosh, the AI says it wants to escape and kill all the humans. It's like, no. It's just it has read our literature, including our literature about AI that wants to kill people, and we've told this thing that it's an AI, and so of course it's going to act like that. It's going to be like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna escape and kill everybody. But it doesn't have the tools to do so, like I already said. Like, it's not like it can actually just move itself around. All it is just generating text, and I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it's actually going to do things. Maybe the thing is going to somehow figure out... Somehow there's going to be a loop where it can actually feed back into itself with new information or something and become super duper evil and smart without ever having actual consciousness. But anywho. Yeah, the current AI sector is about AI progress above all. Well, it's just like how I watched a video recently, RaiPi, and somebody was saying like when Facebook and all that stuff originally came out, the model for a good website was like, we want this to be useful to our users. We want people to join this website and connect with their friends. That's how we make money. But it has since then, it's become an attention economy. Basically, we need eyeballs. We need as many eyeballs as possible. Doesn't matter if those eyeballs have like lost their own brains through brain rot. We need the eyeballs, and we need them at all times and at all costs. And that's created a real problem that we all recognize. And I think in the AI generation, it's kind of the same thing, in a way. Like we need the feeds, man. We need the I don't know. I'm having trouble thinking this morning. Soybean says I set my phone on a toilet while I showered and it fell in. It seems to still work, thankfully. Generative AI is good at specific tasks. That's true. It's good at like very narrow tasks. Very narrow tasks. Oh, I just ate an apple on accident. It was tasty though. I'm okay with it. I do like apples, you know, in real life and in Minecraft. Okay, is this looking semi-natural? I hope so. I hope it's looking semi-natural. I think it is. This is gonna take so much dirt, bro. Artificial unintelligence. Welcome, White Bear, and yes, that is true. It's just not really the intelligent thing that our imaginations dreamed of for generations, you know? The way we used to think about AI is not what has been invented. They call it AI, but Siri is the same thing. Yeah, Siri is like a much more rudimentary version. Although I don't know if Siri is really anything like an LLM necessarily. I think it might work on different principles. Like obviously it's got voice recognition, which is, you know, pretty fancy technology in and of itself. Just the idea that we can train a computer to recognize human speech, that's kind of cool. And it can say, I think Siri is different because it can only say like a preset number of possible things. It's like a long network of combinations of possible words within a, you know, a limited set. And it can accept new words from the user, maybe. But I don't think it's actually like, it's not using predictive text, I don't think. Hold on. Whoa, whoa. RyPie says we're hitting a physics wall with processors where we literally can't make things smaller. That's true. So the new frontier has to be probably, if they can find a superconductor good enough to run, that can actually run room temperature superconducting. That's really what it comes down to. If they can invent, if somebody can come up with a room temperature superconductor, that would change everything. That would blow our current technology out of the water. It'd be like the second generation of computing technology. Use AI at work. Because then we could actually make, with room temperature superconductors, we could make a commercially available quantum computer. Which isn't possible yet because quantum computers right now have to be run at like extremely low temperatures. At least that's what I understand so far to be going on. Because it says I use AI at work for back translation when doing quality assurance. Loud because I'm not doing the real translation that's handled by the linguist for higher quality. Oh, okay. Viper says, to be fair, AI has saved me a crazy amount of time when it comes to doing basic tasks. I can't say I haven't used it a little bit. Swiping says AI is not going to be Skynet anytime soon. That is true. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, we're like 5 years away from the singularity. We're all going to die. It's like, I don't think that's true. I think my suspicion is that this technology is going to follow the law of diminishing returns. I.e., yeah, we've got huge data centers right now, but we're not like we're not just waiting for a tipping point where all of a sudden it's going to take off and be super duper extremely powerful. It's like, actually, no, we're just going to keep putting more and more energy into it and slowly get less and less additional power out of it, kind of deal. That's what I think is going to happen. We chat again. No Terminator yet. Yeah. No. Siri maybe. Yeah, maybe Siri has been upgraded to be LLM capable. Yeah, that makes sense, Viper. Yeah. Of course, I don't know anything about scripting or writing code anyway. One time I did use AI to read code, just like to tell me what it was and like what the parts were, what it was doing. That was kind of interesting. It was able to actually describe it, but only because other people have been able to describe code. Because again, the AI doesn't really understand the code. It just understands how to emulate people who do understand code, basically. Yeah, I think that's probably the best use of the technology right now, is just assistance and things. But even then you gotta be careful. Like some of the stuff, like we all know, like all about the AI generated code. Like what was it? Microsoft said like 30% of their code is written by AI now. It's like, oh jeez. And like weird bugs are happening at the same time. It's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't just let the AI generate the code. Maybe you should continue to hire human beings. Wouldn't that be something, you know? If the world was run by human beings instead of AI. Which is actually, incidentally, if you ever do watch Person of Interest, I'm not try not to spoil anything if anybody here wants to. But that is like the overarching theme in the end. By the time you watched all 5 seasons, you get it. That's the overarching theme. Is if we invent this kind of technology, should we let it run the world? Or should we let humans run the world? And AI could just kind of be there doing its thing, but the world is still run by humans. And, you know, the answer the show gives is like, yeah, we should let humans run the world. Even though, but of course, like, it asks the question, like, why should we let humans run the world since humans are so flawed, you know? Humans are messed up. Humans have caused, you know, we've had wars and nuclear bombs and all sort of crap. Not nuclear. Nuclear. I mean, that's how I used to pronounce it as a kid. One of the many words I couldn't pronounce right. Alright, what's happening in chat? Sophie says, my biggest gripe is that so many kids use AI to do their work. Can't wait to have a future where people who don't know anything and didn't learn anything. Yeah, that's kind of scary. Wiper says the AI was almost certainly trained on Stack Overflow and Reddit data. Stuff we would have manually Googled anyways, that's true. Wiper says school is going backwards with tech. Surveillance software and the hardware. Oh yeah. Wiper says I got a new phone recently and it ships with Apple Intelligence. And that takes almost 70 gigabytes of storage. I never use it. Wow. Of course, yeah, they're integrating the stuff into the phones now. Whether we want it or not. There it is. There are some papers. Okay, I think I'm gonna get rid of this stone here. Oh, there's my other thought. I found it. I found my other thought. Or a connector to my other thought. And it's something I've been thinking about since this Halloween. And, how would I phrase it? Okay. And this is going to get into the discussion of, like, politics, religion, and secular society, I guess. All the things we're not supposed to talk about. Anywho, here we go. Let's do it. So, I think. Halloween. Halloween. The death of Halloween, I think, is connected to, or like the decline of Halloween. I shouldn't just say it's like, it's not dead. It's just majorly declined. And we were talking about the other day, you know, a few weeks ago. We were talking about it here, how it's just not as popular as it was. And something about like the death of culture in that. And see, this is where the thought machine, once again, like the gears are just barely running. Let me start with a history lesson. Okay, this is like a historical perspective. During the Enlightenment, the Renaissance era, in medieval times, the peasants, we've all heard that the peasants had a bunch of days off during the year, right? Like, they worked really hard, you know, they worked sun up to sundown, but they also had a bunch of days off during the year. They had, and most of those were like saints' holidays and stuff, you know. Well, along come two forces of, like, two sociological forces, okay? Two societal developments happened kind of around the same time. And those were the secularists, who were like, religion bad, we're gonna get rid of it all. And the kind of the Puritans, or others like them, who were like, religion good, but organized Catholic religion bad. Okay, those are kind of the two forces I'm going to be talking about in this little spiel here. And they both, hold on, get this guy. They seemingly have very different goals, right? Like, one is pro-religion, one is anti-religion. And one is like, we need to let reason reign over everything. The other is like, oh, we need to, like, be even more strictly religious. And so they would seem like foes whose goals would not align. But I think in a weird way, they did. And here's why. Because they both were like, oh, all these saints' holidays and stuff, bad. Bad, bad, bad. We don't like that. It's bad. It's bad. We should instead have like an industrial grind set, and, you know, to the secularists, it was like, we're gonna create the perfect society, or whatever the heck. And to the Puritans, it's like, we're gonna have that Protestant work ethic, and we're just gonna, like, love our work and be super happy while getting our legs crushed in the legs crushing, like, working 27 hours in the leg crushing factory. Something like that. I'm being facetious, but I think you get what I mean. So what happens as a result of these two forces strangely coming to the same conclusion, but for very different reasons, is all those holidays and stuff, they go away. Okay. And as a result, now, what hold on, the brain. Let me read chat for a minute. Get feedback here. Rypie says, I went walking on the town with a friend on Halloween, and there were barely any kids outside of trunk or treat. Oh, I hate trunk or treat so bad. I hate it more and more the more I think about it. Dude, we are peasants. So true. Michaelmas. Yes, Michaelmas is space. I love it. My stream is getting a bit crushed. I'm so sorry. Flamey says perhaps a balance of both would have been good. Yoniko says I shall ban all religion except the worship. Bro. Bruh. Bruh. You're not meant for the grind non-stop. That's true. You're not meant for the grind. But yeah, so basically those forces kind of accidentally harmonize. Okay, even though they are seemingly very different goals in life. And the end result is, congratulations, you now get 5 days off during the year. We do have weekends though, which is pretty sick, not gonna lie. It's pretty sick though. Well, some people have weekends. Not everybody does, okay? So some people just work like 96 days a week and 57 hours a day, and they eat the slop because that's all they can afford to eat is the slop. You know, yada yada yada. Anywho, I'm getting distracted here, getting sidetracked what I was trying to even say. So yeah, long story short, it happened that way, and I think something similar is afoot with Halloween, okay? Because you get these people, you know, Christians who will say Halloween is satanic and evil and we should get rid of it. We're going to replace trick-or-treat. Oh, and by the way, there's a satanic panic and they're putting like razor blades in your kids' candy. Did that ever actually happen to anybody? I don't know. I have never heard of anybody that I know, anybody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody that I know, who that actually happened to. Okay, it's just something like, oh, there's a news story that happened in like Milwaukee in 1987, and oh my gosh, we're all gonna die now. You know what I mean? But it's these like rumors that just form these feedback loops of like, the rumors are true. Why? Because everybody knows the rumors are true, you know? That kind of thing. That combined with satanic panic, combined with they're coming for your kids, combined with Halloween is of the devil or whatever. Then we get these things called trunk or treat, and now all of a sudden, no longer do we have this special day a year where all the kids go to all the neighbors and like people see each other face to face, okay? And what does that sound like to me? It sounds like the motivations of religious, like puritanical, those kind of motivations, next to like the Silicon Valley motivations of like everyone's gonna be on their phones and eat the bugs, okay? It's like they're weirdly accidentally going together. Like, I don't know. I'm trying not to be too much of an alarmist here, but it feels like culture is dying, and one of the few things we have left that gets us all out of our damn houses and talking to our neighbors for 2 seconds is being taken away from us. You know what I mean? Is being done away with because of fear, basically. Yeah, let me see what else people have to say. I hate people that stop their kids from going to Halloween and stuff because it's quote-unquote pagan. Pie says, I've never heard or seen it happen. Yeah. But when I was a kid, okay, let me tell you, like, White Bear, you may say, like, oh, yeah, who would believe this stuff? But when I was a kid, okay, my parents would go through my candy and check to make sure that, like, none of the wrappers had been tampered with. You know, like, they would get rid of anything that, like, had a wrapper that could easily be taken off and put back on, because you never know what they put in the candy. You know, the bad people. Like, it was a very real fear for Americans. It probably still is, as far as I know. But there's a lot of people who are very worried about that. That somebody's gonna tamper with your kid's candy and put a razor blade in there, or drugs, or something, and it's gonna poison them and kill them, and they're gonna die. And also, someone's gonna steal your cat and sacrifice it to the devil. You know, teenagers probably. And it's like, look, okay, I can believe that every one of those things happened at least once somewhere. But by golly, think of any bad thing you could possibly think of. And it has almost guaranteed to have happened at least once somewhere. Okay? But that doesn't mean we just, like, stop everything and nobody's going outside anymore. It's scary. We can't do this anymore. We're going to delete trick-or-treating and replace it with this thing called trunk-or-treat. So instead of getting to meet our neighbors a little bit and have a sense of community, we're just going to go to some third place that nobody cares about or ever goes to otherwise. And we're gonna trunk or treat with a bunch of strangers we're never gonna see again, who don't live in our neighborhoods and aren't our neighbors. So we're never actually gonna form a relationship with these people. We're just gonna go to this same place together and exchange candy in the lamest way possible. And then we're all gonna go home. Back to living in our pods and eating the bugs. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's the end of my spiel. I think that's about as much as I can say about that one. And I think that relates not just to Halloween. I think that is happening. I think Halloween is just a picture of what's happening to our society. Like the whole trunk-or-treat thing that I've been going on about is a picture of larger trends in our society that are just sad. Alright. If someone hates kids on Halloween, they just lock the door, yes. Trunk or treat is just reward with zero risk. Yes, you don't have to work for it. You don't have to go out there and face, like, you know, the teenagers wearing scary masks trying to scare you because you're a 8-year-old kid, you know. Man, Halloween used to build character, you know. We had to like face the darkness and acquire the loot, you know. We had to face our fears, man. Back in my day. Viper says, I've never heard of anything like that IRL. Of course there's news stories, but I don't know if any people believe. Somebody says, I mean, I never enjoyed Halloween, but I don't want it gone either. Yoniko says, can't even make this up. Used to be a family event just like Christmas, exactly. Like Price says, it's alarmingly normal to distrust and surveil everyone. Yes, yes. Like, we used to assume that we could kind of trust our neighbors. Like, we weren't naive. Like, I don't think people in the past were just dumb and naive and didn't know that they were bad people. But we used to assume that, like, on some level we could trust our neighbors to an extent. And that just seems to be gone. It's like we're all being conditioned by scary news stories to distrust our neighbors forever, for all time, just by default. This is a lot of stone, a lot of dirt. Soybean says, Halloween to me was never going house to house. I live in such a rural area. All I ever got was candy from my grandma's house. Okay, I feel you, yeah. That makes sense. These days I have a tradition with all my friends where we go bowling on Halloween. Nice. If the place is empty, there's no children to annoy us. Perfect. It's a good idea, actually. Rye says, you will eat Z-bugs. We'll eat Z-bugs. You will own nothing and you will be happy. You'll be happy. We here at Silicon Valley Enterprises have cracked the secret to human happiness. and it looks like nothing that humans have ever chosen to do in all of history. But we figured it out, okay? They were all wrong and dumb and stupid. Okay, but we figured it out. You know what I mean? Oh, here I am, being overly facetious. I'm out of dirt again, and it's nighttime. How's it looking, though? We've got a little bit of a valley going on here next to the river, which is nice. I think this will look nice. Yeah, I think this will look okay. Soybean says, man, at that point, just buy candy at the store. Yeah, if you're gonna go trunk or treating, like, what's just buy candy at the store. Screw it. Like, why go through this ritual when you've basically removed all the meaning from the ritual? You know, the whole point of like it being this communal thing, and you removed that and replaced it with some caricature of it. Like, just go buy candy at the store, go back home. Okay, play some Fortnite. Alright. Don't leave the house, eat the bugs. Okay. Own nothing and be happy. Alright, place says culture is controlled by a bunch of algorithms and corpos. The news isn't the real news. Jimmy says, I don't know, people were more trusting back then, hence all the serial killers just being let into people's homes. There's some truth to be on. Well, yeah. The serial killers would definitely take advantage of that trust. Here's where I think the problem is, though. Okay, so let's say there's this trust that exists that is more or less assumed. You know, it's called a high trust society kind of thing. Okay, and because serial killers are good at taking advantage of that trust, because they exist, we are now going to remove that trust, replace it with distrust, so that the serial killers can't get to us. See, that sounds to me a bit like during the COVID years. What did they say killed you from COVID? The immune system would overreact. Basically, the immune system would do what it's supposed to do, but like way overboard, to the point that you died from your own immune system. And I guess that might be an analogy for what we're doing to ourselves right now. In a sense. And therefore, the tradition of Halloween is dying. Because sometimes bad things happen. So, I don't know. I guess... I don't know. And it's funny because there's two kinds of people watching this who would be like nodding along, saying like, "Yeah, we totally need to get rid of Halloween, of all this stupid tradition crap." And one would be like that hyper, religious, not hyper religious. That's not the right word. Like puritanical crowd, like, "Oh, we've got to get rid of all this satanic nonsense," And then there's also the person who's like, "Well, those traditions don't mean anything. Humans can just live in pods, and we can just eat logic and reason. We don't need food." Like the Reddit atheists, It says there's real issues that need to be fixed, but those rarely get covered by the news. Yeah, that's true. I very much trust my neighbors. Well, the neighbors in the same building I live in, anyways. Yeah, I don't distrust my neighbors. My neighbors are fine, I'm chill with my neighbors. I seem to have all right neighbors. I like my neighbors back in Cheyenne, too. Simon says, nature, human compassion, tribal tendencies. Yeah, that's our nature, but we know what we need. Eat the bugs. Yeah, that makes sense, soybean. Alright, Pay says, nothing means anything if you want to go down that route. Yeah, if you want to go down the route, just like, we can just live by logic and reason and live in pods. And you'd be like robots, Be like perfectly attuned robots. Like, no, we can't actually do that. Okay, because here's actually a thought. Okay, I am not an atheist. Like, I think that should be clear from the things I say. But if I were, okay, if I were an atheist, this is me throwing a big old bone to you, Raipai, and Yoniko. So I know you are atheists. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I had to fix that. There's this phrase that goes around in, like, where did I put it? Okay, in like Reddit tier atheism, they'll say religion happened when the first, what do they say? The first con man met the first sucker, and that's how they invented religion. Apparently, just like con mans and suckers, as far as the eye can see. I think even if I was an atheist, I would have to say that is dumb. From an anthropological perspective, especially, that is just a dumb statement. That makes no sense of the anthropological data. Because, like, every human society, no matter how far back we look, if we recognize humans, we see them doing things that are not things like art, for example, but also religious things. Pretty much as far back as we can go and find recognizable human activity. That isn't just like, oh, they made a fire, you know? And what that tells me, if I were an atheist, I would say, well, what that tells me is that the religious instinct must have come into being because of it gives us an evolutionary advantage. And so for the Reddit atheist to go online and say religion was invented by con men to trick other people, it's like that just doesn't seem to be the case, you know? There was this weird study I actually saw a video about where they watched like great apes to see if they exhibited basically they were looking into these apes that seemed to exhibit religious-like behavior, as in attributing things that were happening to them to like something up there or whatever, you know. And they actually found some evidence that that may be happening with what were they called? Gorillas. That's right, gorillas, I think it was. They found some evidence that gorillas would do things that are completely illogical in terms of just, like, basic survival. Like, you don't have to do this, but they're doing it anyway. And, like, when there's a storm, they'll... I wish I could watch the video and just, like, actually explain what I'm trying to think. But they were acting in a way towards this storm as if they could actually... As if they were, like trying to call out to something or, like, challenge the storm gods or whatever. It's just weird how they act in a way that just doesn't make sense if it's all about, like, logically surviving the storm. Why would an animal need an instinct that says, I think I can interact with the spirit of the storm in some way and either make it go away or bargain with it or whatever? That's not logical. It's not a logical thing for these gorillas to do, but they were observed doing it anyway. Which suggests that that kind of instinct, for whatever reason, it works for something. Like, we may not scientifically have mapped out what that is, but clearly it seems to work for something. If it goes back that far. But I'm not even sure if I, like, would see it that way myself in terms of what the study was trying to say. But I guess, again, if I was an atheist, that's kind of how I would take it, is this whole religion thing exists because our ancestors needed it, and it's so deeply ingrained in us that it's like no wonder religion still persists. It's not because people are stupid. It's because it's a deeply ingrained part of our psychology, I guess you could say. Anyway, let's see what chat has to say about that. Did you ever watch Seinfeld? I've seen clips. Literally about random neighbors hanging out. I like shows like that. If God was real, how come I'm not rich? Viper says that's just edginess. Yeah, yeah. Like the hedgehog. You know, because people just need hope and God. Yeah, anywho. And that's another angle on that would be that I think the things that when people talk about religion, they tend to think of like, oh, they have like a certain set of codified beliefs about specific deities with certain characteristics, and it's all very neat and organized, and they believe all this stuff, and I don't see evidence for it, and therefore it's dumb, and I'm not religious. But I think that the instinct I'm trying to talk about is something that affects human behavior on a level that's not just like propositions of like supernatural truth claims. I think it affects, it's ingrained in the fact that we're all ritualistic. Like humans are naturally ritualistic. Like look at sports, okay? Go watch a sports game. It's a very elaborate ritual that we all carry out, whether or not. And the people who are carrying out that ritual together include people who you know, would identify as Christian, atheist, Hindu, whatever. But they're all participating in an elaborate ritual together that, from an evolutionary perspective, there's like no logical reason that this should help creatures survive. So why are we doing it? It's something more complicated, you know. I guess you could say that it has something to do with survival in a you know, in the millions of years kind of sense. It's just not intuitive. It's not the same as like, oh, this animal evolved this kind of appendage or this kind of wing because it helped them to get food better. It's more complicated. It's behavioral. Behavior is always a bit more complicated than the structures of the body, you know. I guess you could say. Soybean says religion and organized religion and the culture of churches are vastly different. My grandparents were hardcore Christian but refused to go to church. You only got married in church, that's about it. I'm not gonna lie, those kinds of people annoy me a little bit. It's not like I lose sleep over it or anything. But it's like, you're gonna call yourself Christian, but then like, you're too good for what the rest of the Christians do, I guess. Or, you know, just like, oh, you know, I'm more spiritual than everybody else. I don't need any of that church stuff. Like, okay, buddy, whatever. What is this music? Kind of good. Cool. What time is it? 10 o'clock. Wow, time flies when you're yapping about nothing all day. Well, again, right, Pi, I'm not trying to convince you that... I'm not trying to convince you that you're wrong or anything. I'm just saying, if I was atheistic, that's kind of how I would argue. Or how I would think about what religion is. And even to some extent, as a religious person, I can kind of see it being part of what's going on in the world. Even though I actually do believe certain truth claims that you would not share. Okay, where are we at with the... Is this one gonna hydrate? It should, logically. Or maybe not. Maybe it's a circle thing. I don't know. What about this one? Okay, that one's not hydrating. I need more water. Nico says, for me, my overly religious grandparents, even parents, pushed me away from the entire concept. Soybean says, the church depends on the people, and if the people running it are terrible people. It almost feels like a separate discussion. Once you get into that's more of a kind of a inside baseball thing at that point. But you don't really know if that's worth going into in this particular audience. As a kid, I just wanted to play with toys and watch Saturday morning cartoons. I miss those. I do miss being a kid sometimes. Not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, well, I gotta go to work. And when I get home, I gotta do other stuff. It's like, I just wanna do this and that. And so many things I wanna do. So many fun things I would like to be doing in life that there just isn't really time for. Because there are responsibilities and stuff. I mean, it's like saying communism hasn't been tried, but people are involved in it, so it'll always end up being I mean, there is some truth to that for sure. I'd say, you know, communism sounds really great. You know, socialism sounds great. Even capitalism sounds great. All these things sound amazing, and then people get involved, and then it just completely ruins the whole thing. It's all good on paper. All the capitalisms and communisms and stuff is great on paper, and then people get involved. Capitalism is like, oh, we're gonna use human greed, oddly enough, to try to make things better. And sometimes it works. Okay, what about when it doesn't work? Well, sometimes it works. Like, what about when it doesn't work? What about when people get so clever that they can just, like, screw over everybody else while still remaining on top? Like, then what do we do? iPad says I like to argue about this, so I just tend to. Okay, fair enough. So Evan says, I mean, I don't think the concept of the church can be flawed. Well, I mean, of course it's flawed. Golly, everything's flawed. Families are flawed, you know? We don't do away with those. Although some people want to. Not very many, thankfully, but there are people in this universe who are like, hey, we should just just get rid of families and live in pods and eat the bugs. This is turning into the don't eat the bugs stream. We are not going to eat the bugs. We are going to live life and do things and stuff. I don't think there are any bad things happening on Mars. Checkmate, dude. Just eliminate all human life and nothing bad happens. Exactly. Brilliant. We have found the solution. Which is kind of funny because, like, every other AI movie, that's the conclusion the AI comes to. Okay? Like, remember, Avengers Age of Ultron? Like, Ultron woke up, looked at the world for like 5 seconds, and was like, okay, I know the solution to world peace. We're just gonna kill literally everyone. Mission accomplished. There could have been life on Mars way back when. Who knows? It's hard to say. We still haven't found like cold, hard, definitive evidence, but I think it was like within the past couple months they found something that some kind of chemical residue on some rocks. It's like really hard to explain if it wasn't bacteria of some kind or something similar to bacteria. Like, well, that's kind of interesting. I think terraforming Mars sounds cool as heck. I don't know if we're ever going to do it, but it sounds cool as heck. It would require a ridiculous amount of resources to do, but it sounds cool as heck. I have such a big wheat farm now. I'm never going to run out of bread ever again. This is awesome. Yeah, Age of Ultron wasn't that... The pacing of that movie was so jank. That's the one thing I really remember, was the pacing was super jank. Other than that, the movie was... And then it was just kind of forgettable, you know? Just, yeah, it's... I haven't been hyped for a Marvel movie since Endgame. Straight up. I did see the most recent Spider-Man. Like the third one with Tom Holland. I think that's the last one I saw. And since then, I have not given a crap. And I still don't like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, okay? We're talking... I like, what was his name? The obvious one. Like the... Just by the fact that I'm millennial. It's like so obvious which one I liked. I can't remember the name of the actor for the life of me, but from the 2000s, Sam Raimi, director, from the early 2000s. That's the one that I like. That's my Spidey right there. When are you switching to winter? I'll switch to winter right after Thanksgiving. So at the end of the last Saturday in November, I think it should be. Terraforming Mars. Yeah, it would be kind of based. If we could actually accomplish it. I don't know if we can. Because, like, the amount of resources it would take is just obscene. But, like, we have the technology to... I actually saw a video of this guy explaining the technology that he had, like, written a paper about and stuff. Like, oh, we literally have the technology that we could create these little things that would just go into Mars orbit and literally spin in the solar winds, like spin like a top in the solar winds, and generate a magnetic field for Mars. And then all we would have to do at that point is dump the right kind of microorganisms and just let them do their thing. Problem is, we'll never see anything of it. It'll just, you know, they'll just sit there and do their thing for eons before anything really happens. That's probably the cheapest way to do it. Ripe says I'm going to go. Are you say you're leaving the stream or are you going to Mars? Either way, Godspeed. Except put their logo on mats like we're in Wally. Microsoft could put their logo on mats. They probably can. Oh my goodness. On Mars, like we're in Wally, yes. And they probably would too. I wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk put his face on Mars, okay? The SpaceX logo. Of course, Elon Musk seems to have, like, he was doing the SpaceX thing for a while, and now it's, like, did he get sidetracked? Like, what's going on, Elon? I thought you were the dreamer who was gonna take us to Mars because you're so insane that you would actually do it. Tobey Maguire, that's it. That's the Spider-Man. Oh, nice. Have fun. Thanksgiving is good. It's good times. Thanksgiving is good times. It's good for two reasons. One, the food and the family and all that. And two, it's... Well, ideally, it doesn't always happen this way. But ideally, it's the one day a year when Americans are like, huh, maybe we should be thankful instead of being a bunch of complaining, entitled shits, you know? I just said it. Anywho. That is a interesting holiday. Huh. American Thanksgiving would kill you, you know, because the amount of deliciousness would be overwhelming. Guess you have to wear the thing. Anywho, what am I gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna put this all away. I think it might be nearing the end of the stream. We got some rain going on. It's all loud. Okay. I could make so much bread right now, it's not even funny. Look at all this bread I could make. It's crazy. Okay, is it like the dead of night? Probably. I think the sunset just a few minutes ago. What could I go do in the meantime? I should eat something. I'm getting hungry again. There we go. I'm gonna put my armor on because I might go. I want to go somewhere. See, World 1, 2. Sand. Skyline. I haven't spent much time here or here. Oh, I was going to change the name of this. Yeah, that's right. I just remembered. I want to change the name of Skyland to kind of a reference to one of my early Indev Plus videos. Budget Aether. There we go. Budget Aether. Angdagat. That's the ocean or the seaside in my wife's native language. Dirt mine, sand. So we got Michigan in all caps. Paradise. Paradise needs a new name. It's too plain, but I don't know what else to call it right now. Home Sweet Swamp. Mr. Pumpkin Shrubland. We had an episode there. Oh, and these have not been done yet. Oh my goodness. Golly. Well, I'm gonna grab a couple things. I think I want to go to Budget Aether and see if I can do something for a few minutes. So I can just poke my head around and maybe bring some projectile weapons might be good here. This might be good too. I don't know. Obviously bring all the projectiles if I'm going to bring those. Not that I don't have much, but whatever. Oh, a spear. If I had I could have a spear. Spears are throwable. That's something I can throw. Make a diamond spear. What the heck? I have the... Oh, what are these doing in... I had those in the wrong place. I guess I had more arrows than I thought. Anywho. Sticks. Make some sticks. Okay. Bring the crossbow. Right, the crossbow. Yeah. And a lot more food. I'm probably gonna get my butt kicked by whatever's in there. Oh, look at all the bread I have. I have barrels of stinking bread right now. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, let's go to Budget Aether and just kind of see what we can do in a few minutes here. The last few minutes of the stream. Alright. I have 3 crossbow bolts, so I guess I better make them count. Oh, this music fits the Aether for sure. It's kind of atmospheric synth. me turn the options, audio, turn the ambience all the way up. Get that wind noise going on. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful right there? Look at that. Hold on. F1. Do a screenshot of that right there. That's just cool looking. Yoniko says, where are you going? I wasn't paying attention. Going to Budget Aether, bro. Staying out in Budget Aether because it sounds like fun. Just something to do. Is that like floating? Okay, that might be floating. The greatest mod of 2011. 100% true. Let's get a couple more screenshots here. This place. The sun will go down here eventually. It's kind of scary. Alright, I haven't seen any harpies yet. Don't they like charge me or something? I think they do. But they also shoot stuff at me, if I recall correctly. Just me and this duck, and like no other signs of life in this entire world. Just me and the duck. That's it. Hello, duck. Also, the crossbow should be a one-shot KO, so load it. Okay, I'm gonna load it real quick. Okay, cool. It's loaded. Loaded crossbow. Okay, nice. No, there's another duck. There's 2 ducks in this world. Wow. It's like a party. The old man in the sea, now we have the man and the duck. Me and the duck, the life of Steel Cat. There I was, standing on a ledge, and there was a duck. And I had 2 choices. What were those 2 choices? I could play the craft, or I could use the shaft. I'm sorry. I need to stop. Anywho. I'm gonna shut up. This is... I'm like reaching the edge of my my brain, my brain power. The stupidity is coming out. So true, Kings. So true. Oh, there's a pig here too. Look at that. Okay, there's got to be like... The harpies do spawn, right? They like spawn in this world during the daytime, right? Isn't that a thing they do? Because I should have seen one by now. Even just flying around in the distance, I should have seen one. There's pumpkins. What's that? It is a single block of cloud all by itself. Alright, I'll be here for another 10 minutes, and if nothing happens, I'm gonna go home and call it a day. Lava. Lava. Do you like me some lava? Okay, cool. Cool. I like the bigger Skylands world. It's so cool to look at. Yes, yes, I would like to get the boots. That's why I'm here. At least part of why I'm here. I'm also here just because it's something to do. I haven't hung out in this world much. Obviously, I'm not going to go mining or anything right now. Next year, I might do some single world challenge streams. So, like, for a while, just hang out in a Skylands world and only survive in that world, you know? A brand new character and everything. Another one, I might do a caves world. Obviously, I think the caves world would be the most challenging out of them all, at least at the beginning. In a sense, it'd be easy once you're established in a way, because you can light up the world and not have to worry about the blood moons, but it'd be very difficult at the beginning. Oh my gosh. What else would be difficult would be the ocean world. Single world ocean. That would be crazy. The ocean world. The ocean world might be the worst. Like the caves world would be difficult on like day 1. But the ocean world, if you're lucky, you would spawn inside something that has wood, so you could get started. But if you spawned in a desert sphere, you'd be forced to go find another sphere and swim to it before you could even get started. And you might just die over and over trying to do that. So that one could be very challenging. Yes, it would be a nightmare, truly. I honestly think it might be worse than the caves, because the caves world, you'd be blind for a little while, but once you got past it, you'd be okay. Whereas the ocean world, I think the restrictions, like the way it restricts you, would last for a while. A little bit longer than the caves world. Okay, it's nighttime, and I haven't seen a single harpy. The moon world, yeah, okay, guys, I'm doing a single world survival stream. We're doing the moon world. It's gonna last as long as possible. I'm excited to get this started. Let's go. Oh. Okay. Gotta find some wood. Okay, we're gonna do this, guys. Okay, let's kill Reyna. Reyna has resources. And I'm dead. Okay, guys, well, this has been my single world survival stream. Travel to the Indev Farlands. Let's do it, bro. Let's flip and do it. I'm gonna travel there right now. This very stream, at night. In a floating world type. I'm gonna travel to the Farlands. Ready? Let's go. Okay. You know, there's a creeper over there. I'm gonna do it. I'm going to the Farlands. Going to the Farlands. Oh, dude. It's so far. Farlands are bust, though. Right? We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Even though it's really far away. We're gonna make it. Okay, here we go. Alright, we're gonna do this, guys. We're going to the Farlands. Let's go. Guys, we're almost there. Guys, I can see them. I can see the world's edge, dude. Yes, we're here. We made it. Oh my gosh, guys. It's been a journey. It's been such a journey. Such an incredible journey. Honestly, we need to end the stream right here, having made it to the Indev Plus Farlands. So incredibly amazing. I want to thank all my supporters who have been with me during this journey. Over the seconds that we've been together. You guys are what kept me going, honestly. So I just want to say a big thank you to all of you. I couldn't have done it without you. Made it all the way to the Indev Plus Farlands. We're here. It's amazing. And with that, I want to thank you very much for coming to this stream, my dudes. Yes, it was beautiful. We're all crying. And thank you for coming to the stream. If you enjoyed it, I hope you'll hit that like button, or maybe even that subscribe button. That'd be pretty darn cool, if you ask me. And if you really like what I'm doing on this channel, then you can also check out the Patreon link in the description at your discretion if you would like. I'd be very much appreciative of my dudes. Either way, I hope to be back next week with a little bit more Lock Game goodness, and hopefully I can get a video recorded soon. I got sick last week, so it didn't really happen, but it could happen this week. We could be recording some of that mind test. Yeah, some of that mind test. Yeah. Anywho, so yeah. Anywho, it's a beautiful night sky with some stars and stuff, and I'll see you later. Steel Cat out. Goodbye.